I have just put the drawstring back in my son's gym pants for like the second time in 2 weeks, and it's kind of a tedious job. I've got another video on how to do that. But what I want to do is I don't want to ever do this again, and I got a friend who's a clothing manufacturer, and I've seen how he does this, so let me show you the secret. So I've got my dark blue thread, which doesn't show exactly, but it's very close to the color of the pants. Got my needle, it's all threaded up, ready to go. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the opposite side of the pants where the seam is, and we're going to stitch through into the cord. Make sure you got to get into the cord, and we're going to whip stitch around there several times, tie it off, and we're going to call it good. And that will keep the cord from coming all the way out. Now, what can happen is one end can go back in here where it's not retrievable, but that's not very common. And when that happens, you have to unstitch this, pull the cord all the way out, and reinsert it. But again, I think maybe I've had to do that once in my life, so this is a pretty good fix to keep the cord coming out on just about anything. Okay, let's get to it. So here's the butt seam of the pants. You can see the label here, and so this is midway. This is where we'll do the sewing, right in here. Make sure that you have the cords matched so that both ends are equal at the time, and make sure you kind of pull on the pants to make sure that it's not bunched up somewhere, but make sure the ends of those cords are equal before you start this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the needle and I'm going to push it through here, and I'm going to get that cord, and you want to kind of feel around to make sure you actually get into the middle of the cord and come out like this. And then we're going to tie it off, and we're going to go around and around. So I won't show all of this because I'm sure you can repeat that process by yourself, and it's hard to keep it in focus. You can tell I'm not a seamstress. Okay, so from here out we're just going to keep going around and around and pretty much stay in the same area, and when we're done we'll just snip off these loose ends. But for now, let me get back to putting a few more whips in here, and then we'll tie that off and call it good. Okay, I've got a couple stitches in here, and now what I'm going to do to make sure that I'm sewing through the cord, I'm going to grab one end of it and I'll give it a pull and see, and yes, I can feel that it's pulling against here, so I know that I'm getting the cord, and that's important. Okay, I'm going to put in a few more stitches and then I'll be right back. So I've got a stitch in there, I've got the knot tied off. Now I'm just going to snip it. No, these are not sewing scissors. Snip it, and that's pretty much it. There won't be any protruding knot really because I've got it underneath this part of the seam, and doesn't show. This is on the inside, of course, and that's it. That string will not come out of there again. Okay, well, hope you find this useful and interesting in your home life endeavors.